And with that, we are live. I'm Steve Stallard, and I'm sure many of you may have seen me before, but if not, I'm Steve. This is Grace. Grace is our marketing extraordinaire. So she is responsible for so many things that you see here as far as samples and all that good stuff. So Grace is joining me tonight for this webinar. So first and foremost, though, we had a time zone snafu. So some of you have been waiting very patiently for an hour, and I'm very, very, very sorry. So we'll get started. We'll get going here. Some just house cleaning things before we get started. If you're having any audio issues, you can choose between calling in and changing your PC audio. So tweak those settings. Sometimes you just have to restart the webinar. Anything great, or George, what do we always say about if you're on a mobile device? I can never remember.
I know, you always, that's why I'm here. So if you're on a mobile device, we will be going to a close-up cam every now and then when Steve's working over here on the heat press. So you'll see, and able to swipe up will get you to that second cam. So swipe up or down, that'll get you between the two different views that we'll have going on today, and should be it. And for those of you on a PC, you'll just see, or a computer, you'll see those pop up side by side.
And this is kind of a casual event that we're throwing tonight.
Yeah.
And we really want you guys to ask questions. So
Yeah.
as we are demoing and showing you things and drinking our tasty beverages, please make sure that you're submitting questions in the question tab, and we will answer those behind the scenes with our helpers and also live.
Let's start let's go to our, let's go to our polls. Let's start with our polls.
Let's do it.
Is there anything else I'm forgetting?
Not yet.
Okay. All right, polls. We got polls here. We want to get some information from you guys. We'll go ahead and start with our polls here. First one there. We just want to get an understanding of where you're at with sublimation. Just if you're new, if you've been doing this a little while, maybe you have a heat press and you're doing vinyl and you think, hey, this sublimation thing seems cool. This is a great opportunity to learn about sublimation and the substrate. So let's see where we're at with it. So about 75% of you under a year. Okay, that's good.
Nice.
Okay, your 7% of you are doing it today, or not currently doing it today. So 7% 1 to 3, 7%. Okay, so 75% of you have voted. Some of you may be a little too deep in your drinks and have lost your focus. So come on back and get me to at least 85% to 90 of you. All right. Oh, see, that's all it took.
That's all it took.
All right. Okay, so 75% under 1 year, 4 years over. So those of you who are sublimation vets, some of this might be review for you, but it's a good opportunity maybe just looking for some new substrates, some things you haven't tried and wanted to drink an adult beverage and join us tonight. And okay, let's close that one. Next one, George. Thank you. Thank you. All right. So what type of sublimation printer are you using today? Give us an idea. We want to know if you're using converted Epsons, if you're using the Epson F570, which is super popular. Are you a Sawgrass loyalist, or is there something else out there you're using that I don't know about? So make sure you hit those boxes.
I will say we have a ton of the Epson F570s in stock.
We do.
Which has been very rare.
Yeah,
You've not been
is.
able to get them.
And listen, JPP is a great place to buy those from. Not only are you going to get free shipping on those, we're going to help you install those, to help you get started, training questions, all that good stuff. And a lot of folks don't have them in stock. We do. We've got them ready to ship for you. Okay, so 0 F570s. That's interesting.
Wow.
Okay, 44% of you are using converted Epsons. And 44% of you are using Sawgrass SG 400, 500, and 1000. A couple of you still have the 400 and 800s, and 6% of you are using other. Okay, all right. So maybe you have the Epson F170 or something like that. Okay, and last one here. Are you looking to purchase a sublimation printer in the next 6 months? A lot of folks love those converted Epson printers, but some of you have experienced that it sometimes can be quite challenging. You're on your own. Sometimes you're, not sure how to do certain things, and you don't have support and all that good stuff that comes with, buying a printer from Johnson Plastics Plus and the Epson or Sawgrass.
Plus, a lot of times you can't print very large.
Yes.
And the Epson F570 is my favorite because it is a 22-inch printer. So you can either do multiple artwork up on a page, or you can just print a lot bigger, which is a really handy thing to have in a shop.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a Phenomenal printer, game changer in the market space.
Mhm.
Okay, so we'll go with this. 69% of you are no, that's okay, and 31% of you are looking to, so we can for sure help you. Most importantly, here is the real pressing question for the night. George, hit that. I want to know what you're drinking tonight. I am enjoying a old fashioned in our stemmed sublimatable wine glass. I just thought that was ironic to put it in here, kind of funny. So I'm drinking an old fashioned in here.
And I have a gin and tonic.
Yes.
Because on the inside, I am a golden girl, I'm an old lady, and I enjoy gin and tonic. It's my go-to drink. So hopefully there's other gin and tonic drinkers out there.
Some of you may not even know who the Golden Girls are, but for those of you who do, you'll definitely appreciate that. All right, so 36% wine, 9% beer, seltzers, all the rage. I like, you know, I like seltzers. Beer sales for the first time have dropped, and I don't know how many years I saw because of seltzers. So.
Which is nice because we have these nice sublimatable insulators.
Oh,
that fit
yes.
perfect on the
Yes.
seltzer.
Or for those of you drinking pop or maybe Coke or soda, depending on the part of the country you're in,
Yeah.
or beer.
So once you're done with the demo, you can just put your seltzer in here and be ready to go for the night.
All right, so that closes out polls. Thank you guys, we appreciate that. All right, let's jump into this, okay? So you received your kit with us, and in that is gonna have the items we're gonna tackle, you've got your transfers, everything you need to get started. So we're gonna go through that. Let's just real quick, for those of you talking about looking at sublimation printers, let's just look at that real quick. Let's talk about our lineup, and maybe George can bring that up for us real quick and share the website. Let's start with the Sawgrass line, or we can start with the Epson, whatever you have up there. So if you're into sublimation now and you're looking to take that next step, or maybe you're on the bubble where you want to do some additional things, maybe you're looking for something that's a little more cost effective, the Epson F570, is that what's in the background, George?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. The Epson F570 is a game changer in the marketplace. This has been the most popular printer in the sublimation space. It's a 24-inch printer. You're going to get 17-inch rolls, 24-inch rolls, and the cut sheets that you're going to be able to use with it too, like 8.5 by 11, 8.5 by 14. Super easy to use. Grace has done a lot of things on that printer. It's her favorite printer.
It is, and I would say too, we are approaching holiday season.
Yeah.
So if you guys are kind of having problems keeping up with your current printer situation, with your orders or your projects, now is the time to get another one or upgrade to a larger size, because those holiday orders are going to be coming in fast and furious very soon if they aren't already.
They are. And you know, one of the beautiful things about the Epson too is that bulk ink system that's on there. And if you've not seen that, it is so easy to refill. The ink is so cost effective on this unit. You can't beat that. $17.99 a bottle for 148 milliliters, so it's a good one. George, you want to go to the 500 or bring over the Sawgrass? Thank you. And then also here's the Sawgrass lineup. We'll go into too much there. Great printers if you're starting out. You have the 500, we'll do up to 8.5 by 14. You're going to get the Sawgrass Print Manager with it and access to Creative Studio. So if you're really new to sublimation, two important tools. And then we have those in different kits, starter and standard. And then we also have the Sawgrass SG-1000.
And I will say too that the transfers in your box are printed on our JP Plus sublimation paper.
Thank you.
So I want to make sure that you guys got the opportunity to try it, because it's extremely versatile. You can use it on hard and soft substrate. And it was also printed on the SG-1000. So just to get those questions answered right now.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, let's jump into this kit. Let's talk about the items that we got here. So guys, we're going to start with this acrylic ornament, okay? So get that ready. Have your press set to 365 when you're doing that. So, and then we're going to work up from there, and we're going to go to the warmer temperatures. And so, sorry if you're, I should have started out that telling you the temp, but we'll start with that. One thing to note too with this, as you're working on this, there's going to be, it's hard to see, you got protective coating on this. So make sure you peel that off. You're going to have it on both sides. So let's go ahead and take that off.
If you don't peel it off, your transfer is not going to stick, and you're not going to have optimal results.
It's going to look pretty wonky.
And something too with this that's interesting is a lot of the sublimation lengths that you find, you have to mirror your artwork. So you're actually going to make sure that it prints backwards. But since we are putting the transfer directly to the back of this ornament.
We did not mirror this.
Correct.
Yes.
Correct.
Yeah. You're going to be looking through and seeing that. So that's the only one that's not mirrored. Now, in the Sawgrass, we do these all in print on the Sawgrass. We set the other ones to mirror. And so you can just uncheck that box within the Print Manager.
Nice and easy.
Okay, so hopefully everybody's had a little bit of time to get that ready. Before we get started, you guys see questions that I need to answer? Okay, all right, so let's go ahead and take this. So you've got your ornament here, your white side. This is your coated side for sublimation, okay? So I've got my transfer here. Now, if you want to, you can trim this down a little bit, but this is perfect size to go on your heat press. I'm gonna take this, I'm just gonna line it up. We've given you those lines, your bleed lines, I'll call them. That might be not be the best term, but that's what I'm gonna call them.
That works. It's
Because
good.
it helps you line up your substrate and know where your edges are and where your artwork is. Now in this one, you can clearly see through and see that, so it makes it a lot easier. But if you're doing like a metal panel or something like that, or the koozie, beverage insulator, it's nice to have those lines. So I've got that lined up in here. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take heat tape. This is our brown thermal heat tape. I love this stuff. It's super thin. Sometimes if you're familiar with sublimation, some of the thicker heat tapes, if you get it near where your sublimation artwork is, it can actually lighten that area and kind of just goof that part up. This stuff is so thin it doesn't do that, or it minimizes it significantly.
I
So
see a lot of questions too online on social media, and they're asking why you're getting lines from your tape. And so what's nice about this brown thermal tape is that it is so thin. So like Steve said, you're less likely to have any markings left from it. You're also less likely to have any type of line or residue. So highly recommended.
yeah, absolutely. So I've got this taped. I'm going to do a little tape at the bottom too, just to make sure I've got that secured. And if you're new to sublimation, obviously we tape things because we don't want that transfer moving, because if that transfer moves, it can cause what's called as ghosting. And that's your image kind of dragging across in your heat press, and it smears, for a better word, across your substrate. So I've got that tape, and I've got it right here taped on. We'll just kind of flip this around so everybody can see that, okay? All right, so I'm gonna take this to the heat press. Anything you want to add, Grace?
No,
Before I
you've done a
venture over?
spectacular job.
Oh, I tried. So I'll go ahead and take this. Hopefully, can everybody see, or am I in the way?
You're good.
I'm going to have a Teflon sheet's great for the bottom part of your platen. Tonight, I'm just going to use an additional piece of blowout paper. So we sell blowout paper on jpplus.com. You can buy this by the pack. And so this is great because you can just dispose of it when you're done. But you can have a Teflon sheet at the bottom. And then obviously on your substrate, you're going to want to do a blowout paper on top. That helps protect your top platen so that you're not getting a buildup of sublimation ink on there. And it's always a good idea to clean that too after a number of uses. So I'm going to go ahead and take this, and I'm going to go transfer side up towards the heat platen. So remember, my transfer side, I got the sublimatable side down. I've got the transfer side up towards the heat platen. I'm just going to put it in the middle of the press. And make sure you give your press a test on there on where you're at as far as thickness-wise with your substrate. So I'm going to go ahead over here and bring this in. We're going to test this. Now, what we're doing this at, again, is 365 for 105 seconds. So I'm going to make a quick adjustment here.
We're also using medium pressure, so the demos tonight will all be using that medium pressure. So nice and easy, keep at that same constant pressure, and you're on your way.
And I'm using a Stahl's Fusion Hotronics. This press is an amazing press. Sorry, George, I keep like getting in the way. So this press is a 16 by 20 press. It swings away or has a pull-out drawer. That is great if you're doing garments. Even if you're doing hard surface, because it pulls the drawer out, you're away from the heat platen, so you're not accidentally burning yourself. Those of you that are doing that, I mean, you know it doesn't feel good when you catch that. So that pulls away. So we have these in stock if you're looking for a press. This puppy is hard to find. Most folks are out of stock, and with lead times up towards 8 weeks, we have them in stock. So great press. We carry Geonite also. Geonite makes a phenomenal press. The DK20S, that's also in stock too. So that is another 16 by 20 press. That's great for sublimation too. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead here. I got my temperature set to 365. I've got my pressure set to medium on this. And then I'm going to come down on it here, just backing it off a little bit more, and there we go. So I've got it set to a medium pressure here, 105 seconds. So and we're off and running. So make sure you're watching your tech tips, and that is going to be helpful. On our website under downloads, you're going to have those text tips there, and it's going to show you your time, temperature, and all that good stuff in there, okay? So that's all available on the website. And of course, you could always call us too if you need help with anything.
I want to say too, we are aware that there's some inventory and supply kind of issues going on in the world. And these acrylic ornaments, we have them now. So we highly recommend if you see something on jpplus.com and it's in stock and it's something you're even remotely interested in, we recommend that you go ahead and purchase it. That way you have it for the holidays, you're not waiting for the last second. And then when you're going to find your ornaments for the holiday season, you're unable to find them anywhere. So if you see something, definitely recommend that you grab it up.
Absolutely. That's supply chain right now is tight with everything going on in the world. So planning out is going to be very, very key.
George, do you have any questions?
Yeah, quick question for you, Steve.
Yes.
What would happen? When you peeled off the masking at the beginning of the event or beginning of the press there, how can people tell if it's got a masking on it? I mean, other than a little bit of a feel to it.
Yeah, you're just going to be able to see it. This masking kind of gives it like a, I don't know, like, how do I want to say it? Like a blur. You can tell, especially on the acrylic pieces and like the metal, because it needs to protect that. You're going to be able to see that on there, and then you can see on the corner where you can peel that off.
And something too is if you have questions, you can reach out to jpplus.com and we can let you know if there's a masking on it if you aren't
Yes,
sure.
if you have questions, yeah. Am I in the camera? See, I do that all the time. Steve's not good with multiple cameras.
And he's only had one sip of his beverage too, so I'm gonna cut him off.
Can everybody see? All right, so our timer's gone off. Again, we did 365 for 105 seconds. Okay, so I've got this here. Let's see the big reveal, and hopefully I didn't mess it up. Let's bring this up. Oh, I can tell already. This looks great. Okay. All right, so I got my handy dandy heat glove. We want to give that a minute. It's still pretty warm. I'm going to take this. I almost taped too well. Has anybody ever done that?
Yes.
At the risk of burning myself, I'm going to take this here.
Wouldn't be the first time, Steve.
I know, this tape is good tape.
Do you need some help?
No, I get it. All right.
And the nice thing about these acrylic ornaments is once they're finished, the colors are so bright, so
Let's
vibrant.
just show this.
Yes.
All right, so you guys can see that there. Can you guys, is that a good picture? Can everybody see that right there? Look how great that looks. Okay, so again, 360, 105 seconds, 365. And again, the back side of this, the white side is coated. You do not mirror this, and you're gonna get a nice vibrant print. And keep in mind, you can customize these, custom. People pay for something custom. So as you're doing this, family name, these type of things when you market your holiday items like this or any sublimation item. Okay, so I'm gonna take this off, and that's one down. That's you.
Grace, we had a question about the design for that ornament.
Yeah,
And do we have that available?
we do. So we sent out an email with a link to download all of the files that we're showing in this webinar. But also at the end of the webinar, within 24 hours, we'll send out an email and it will have links to all the products we're using, links to all the files that we use. So we will definitely make those available for you.
Awesome.
And hopefully everyone had a great turnout with that one.
Yeah, any questions about that substrate, about pressure, time, anything like that you have?
And it's nice,
Check it.
it's nice
Yep.
because these acrylic ornaments do come in a pack of 4, and they come with the ribbon in the little packages. So once you finish pressing it and you're ready to go, you just tie your ribbon through the top and make it your Christmas ornament. Nice and easy.
Yep, super easy. One of the things we're doing with this too is just keep in mind, try different products. Sometimes you might not think, oh, that might not work. I don't know what to do with this, or how do I'll go about that. But these will be opportunities, especially with these items, to try some different items with metals, with drink insulators. We have different options there. And then especially with, we're going to do what, the bag next, or what do we got next? The bag.
Yeah, we're doing the bag next.
Hey,
Perfect.
Steve, we had
Yeah.
a quick question again on the ornament. Somebody opted in late to the webinar, and just to remind them, you printed on or pressed to the white side,
The white side, yes, to the white side of the ornament.
and you
So-
did not mirror the artwork because it's
That's correct.
essentially a front side type of a print.
Yep. So let's do this bag now. So this is a canvas tote bag on our website that you can get. This here, what I do with anything when I'm doing fabric wise, I give these a pre-press, And I'm also going to do a roll on this with a lint roller, because if you're in sublimation for a little while, you know about the blue meanies, and having that lint stuff out of there will really help the end result of your sublimation. So
Once you have that pressed in, there's really not
Yeah.
much you can do afterwards.
yep, it's there permanently. So give this a good lint roll if you have that. If not, I mean, right now for the demo, for doing it at home, you know, you can understand, hey, next time that if you have one of those.
And as you can tell when you're feeling this bag, it's super high quality, super nice, super
Yeah, I like
durable,
this a lot.
especially the price you can get it at. I mean, that's
Yeah.
like a top-notch, high-quality canvas bag.
Hey, Steve, quick question.
Yeah.
Blue meanies, is that an official industry term or is that just something you use?
Yeah, that's industry term. It for sure is. I learned that from a sublimation veteran. So, absolutely. No, it's just lint, and then what happens is when you press that into the fabric, it looks like little blue strings on your sublimation, like on the fabric, and it's just there, and it's annoying. So it just doesn't look good. So make sure you get those out of there. So I've got the thick part of this hanging off the platen, okay? So one of the things with platens, let me back up to with heat presses, it's a good idea to look at different platen sizes, because if you're doing bags or different things like that, you might want a smaller platen, or a smaller platen might work better for a smaller bag. So don't overlook the accessories when you're buying a heat press. The 16 by 20 platen is a great platen, but they make smaller ones. And with all these presses that we carry, I have interchangeable platens, it'll make your life a lot easier. So I'll go ahead and put this down. I'm going to do a quick pre-press on this. I'm also going to use this opportunity to adjust the pressure of my my heat press here. And I'm going to put a piece of blowout paper on here just to create some thickness, because that's what's going to be there when I actually put this on there, the transfer. So I want to use that as a kind of an idea of where I'm at. So I'm going to adjust this a little bit. And again, the pre-press is going to help get out any wrinkles. It's going to get out any steam.
Do we have a question?
Hey,
George?
Steve, did you change the temperature on this press?
No, we actually need to do that. So let's do that now. Good catch, George. So at the
390.
bag, we want to go to 390. That's what happens when we have different substrates. So I forgot to do that. So let's do that. I'm going to adjust
Good
it.
catch.
Steve, that wasn't me, that was Carly. I can't take credit.
Oh, good job, Carly.
Hey, while we're waiting, we do have a question, and I think I'm going to ask this one to Grace. Grace, what software did you use to do the designs for some of these files tonight?
Perfect. So I personally am an Adobe girl, so I use Illustrator for it. However, you can use CorelDRAW, or another popular software out there is GIMP, and that one's actually free to use, and I highly recommend it. Or some people are even going on to Canva and creating their designs. I know they have a premium account, but you can also use their free version. That comes in handy. So it comes down to personal preference.
So this would be a good time because you got to dress your press. So now I don't feel bad for holding everybody up, because you guys got to do that too. So, all right, so we'll take some time to do that. While that's warming up, I'm going to get this bag. So now, you probably didn't see it before, but this thing is like crispy and ready to go. I love it. All right, so we'll put the transfer on. Now there's a couple things you could do here to avoid lines. You could use the vapor foam kit on this, and that's a great thing to do. You want it larger than the design, but I always say this backward, larger than design, but not larger than the sheet of paper that you have it on, okay? Or you can feather the edges of this by just taking the paper, starting at a corner and working down to where you're just tearing the edges of this. This takes off the hard line of the transfer paper. A lot of people will do this. You've probably already seen it. I'm just going to do it on this one side so you guys can get an idea. But this just softens the edges of that transfer to make it easier, to make sure that you don't get any hard lines when you're doing the transfer, okay?
And this is a good example if you're new to sublimation. When we talk about mirroring your artwork, you can see that the V and the word kind are flipped. So when we talked in the first demo that we did with the acrylic ornament, we say it's not mirrored, it's not flipped. So it's not the reverse or backwards of it.
So I'm gonna, you know what, we got time, because that press has got to warm up. You guys are probably trying to figure out what to do in the meantime. So we're gonna tear your transfer on the side, just grab it at the corner. If you've had too much to drink, don't go too fast. Or you're gonna rip through your transfer.
I will say too, if you're new to sublimation, don't get upset if you accidentally print a transfer and you forget to mirror it. It happens to the best of us. When we're going fast, even us experts sometimes will accidentally print it and realize that we've made a mistake and have to go back and print it again.
Grace does it all the time and we haven't fired her.
I'm still miraculously here somehow.
Hey, Steve,
Yes, sir.
someone wants to know why the heck you're ripping the transfer.
I'm not sure. No, I'm kidding. I'm doing that to avoid press lines. So anybody who maybe has done fabric or if you've done shirts, it can be very difficult to, when you go to press this, especially with garments, you don't want to use a ton of pressure because you're going to get press lines in your garments and it's not going to come out. It's there. So one way to avoid that is the vapor foam kit, or a foam kit that goes underneath the shirt or underneath the bag. And what that would do is it would create a cushion. And what you do is you're elevating the area of the designs and letting the edges of the paper fall off so that it's concentrated in one area. I'm not going to do that tonight. So what I'm doing is I'm tearing the sides of the transfer to feather the edges so that they're not a hard edge like the edge of the paper. So this is all tore up now. Works well too, especially on a canvas bag. You can use this too. So
But if you're interested in the vapor foam kit,
we sell that on
we sell it.
jpplus.com. I just neglected to get that ready before the webinar is really what happened. So.
Hey, tips and tricks are always good because you never know what you're gonna need to know.
In the pinch, when in doubt.
Yes.
Okay, how are we on temperature?
What temperature are we trying to get to here, Steve?
We gotta do 390, 45 seconds.
We're at
close.
389.
That's fine, okay? We'll go ahead, take this over. And I'm gonna do this one a little different. I'm gonna tape this up when I get on there, just lightly. So again, I'm gonna put this on the press. I'm gonna have the handles off on the side, or the back here is actually what I'm gonna do. Okay,
And that just helps make sure that you don't have it under the part that you're pressing, because that
Uneven
again will
pressure.
leave lines, your transfer might not work out well.
yep, and it creates uneven pressure, and that's not good. You don't want uneven pressure in sublimation. That's why a swing away heat press or one like this is great, because it's not gonna create uneven pressure. It's gonna come down on the product evenly. All right, so I'm just gonna put just one piece of tape on here.
A small piece this time.
I overtaped, okay? It happens.
It does, it really does.
All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and use another piece of blowout paper here. Again, I'm gonna put that on there. I'm going to adjust my time on this one, 45 seconds.
I just want to say too, it is really important that you have a high quality heat press that delivers even pressure. Because if you're not getting those optimal final results each time, and maybe some parts of your graphic are fading, that might be because you're not using a high quality even pressure heat press.
And we're off.
We're off, we're in.
Hopefully everybody's having good success with their substrates. I hope you're enjoying this. You're having a good beverage. We have a meat and cheese tray, also known as a charcuterie board.
Yes. Charcuterie. We were practiced that one before this, and I don't think we got it.
I say it very goofily. Let's just leave it at that.
Meat and cheese. We have a meat and cheese tray.
Meat and cheese. So,
Yeah, let us know how it's going. If
hey,
you wanna
and that is
shoot-
a sublimatable,
It is.
yes, on our website. So,
It has little tools on the inside, so if I would take this top piece off, I'm probably gonna drop something. Look at this. We have all these tools, even utensils in here for cutting, slicing, opening.
Yeah, I was reaching for the cheese and meat. Actually,
No, Carol. Keep that here. Don't take my meat and cheese.
I was going to show them the inserts, but we'll wait for Steve to get done.
all right, so here we go. It's done. I'm gonna take this apart here. I always need more working space. I always create a mess. Okay, so let's grab this and pull it back. And here we go. Oh, this looks phenomenal. And guess what, folks? No lines. Can everybody see that? Let's come in close. That's what feathering those edges of the transfer do. Okay, no press lines. That's why I was tearing that transfer. Again, vapor foam kit, or feathering those edges, I call it. I don't know if that's the technical term, but tearing the edges to soften that up. That looks great. Everybody see that? Okay.
And it's funny because I have been doing this for a while and I have not seen that trick, and I'm going to be using it from here on out because that is handy. to
See,
me.
did you even know you were gonna learn something?
No.
Hey, Steve, while
Yes.
you've got that and you're in front of the tray there, a question was, you didn't put any paper in between. Does that bleed through to the inside of the bag?
You know, on this one, it does not. If it's a really light, most of that, you're okay, but again, before you do anything, always test and see what it looks like. And if you like the end result, I guess I'm on the camera.
Disembodied voice, Steve. Thanks for coming back.
End up here. So yeah, just test and see. But on this one, I did not. On some things you could, but you know, that's a really heavyweight canvas. As Grace said, that's not a cheap bag. That's something someone's going to use.
This is a good library bag. I could put so many books in here, nothing would tear.
Still?
Yes, people
Okay.
go to the
I
library.
was thinking groceries, but that too.
That too.
Halloween candy?
Yes,
Oh,
trick or treat
yes.
bag holds so much candy.
Halloween, that is around the corner. As a parent with 3 girls, I love Halloween because I eat all their candy. All right.
I'm
so-
gonna make them bags with their names on it so you can't steal their
That's a
candy.
good idea.
We'll show the inside of that, just the tools there.
Yeah.
So they're interested, grab them.
And again, sublimation is just, you can personalize everything. So that's the beauty of this. And these items just are great gift items, or really any type of market you're trying to dive into, you can customize these items.
And it's great. I know that we touched on it briefly before, but JPB has literally thousands of items available for you guys. And something that we really take pride in is we test all of our items before we sell them. So we make sure that they are sublimation ready.
Look at George stealing our meat cheese.
No, keep talking.
They're sublimation ready. We have tech tips, templates, downloads for you guys. We want to make either getting into sublimation or expanding your sublimation business as easy as possible. So we really try to put tools in place as far as videos and resources to help you guys out.
What's next, Grace?
We are going to do the insulator, which is my favorite.
We've got this flamingo insulator. It's
Amazing.
amazing. So we're gonna do this one next, okay? Couple things here on your transfer. What you wanna do is you can just, we've cut it in half. So Grace is like already a step ahead of me.
And I think I actually sent them in their box, 2 separate ones for front and back.
Oh, good, okay. So you've got this cut in half. We're gonna do one side at a time. Of course, again, you would just flip it over, do the exact same thing. We're gonna get this taped up. And again, this is oversized, and that's fine. That's gonna help get the edges on these. So when you do the second side, that is covered too.
Just make sure.
Questions, guys?
So our artwork is outside of the actual product itself. So I just make sure that your design is going to go all the way to the edge. We like to call that a nice bleed. And then it makes it easier when you're putting your blank or substrate on your transfer. You can kind of line it up and see where you need to have it placed.
So Grace, a question someone had about trying to do a full bleed on those. And I think you probably just have to work the design in. Is that correct? To kind
And
of
you're
like
gonna
get
get a
that
full bleed on this.
Yeah.
on both sides. Like you meant like on.
So here's the thing, at one time pressing this, and we've tried this, it's so thick that it doesn't have the time to sublimate it, okay? So with this, I always say do the second side the other way, because it's just this insulator is pretty thick. On some things, you may be able to get away from by doing both sides at the same time, but there's just not enough direct heat to get the second side. So it's gonna be pretty good with it, taking into account your design. Where you're gonna notice is on the sides, but you know, I don't think it's gonna be too relevant.
I would say we did this one previously, and you can tell that by making the artwork bigger than the substrate, we actually have it really close to the edge here. So once we press the back side and have it go all the way to the edge in the back, you're gonna look like you have a full bleed, full coverage.
All right, so let's get rolling on this. Guess what? We don't have to adjust our press. 45 seconds, 390. Gonna throw a little tapey tape here,
Not too much.
not too much. And I'm just gonna do one piece at the top. This is gonna be enough for this. Again, transfer side up towards the heat platen. I'm gonna go back to the dual camera so I can stand in front of it and you don't see anything anyway.
I'll try to give you a warning.
Yeah, thank you.
We only have so many places we can move the camera to, Steve. So
You know what we need is an overhead shot, is what I think that's gonna be worth it.
Maybe a drone.
Yeah.
We'll be having our webinars, we'll just have a drone flying around in the
Yeah.
back.
or me on a step stool, I think is probably where that's going.
Yes.
So whatever. That's
We have to get 6 foot.
fine. Is that a short joke, Steve?
No.
It is.
All right, so I've got that on my press. I've got the transfer side up, so the side that we're sublimating. I got my blow-off paper on here. I may adjust my pressure a little bit once I start to feel. Now, sometimes you can get in a little bit of trouble with that, so be careful. I didn't do a test prior to that, but we're going to be pretty close here, so I might just adjust it a little bit. But we're going to go ahead and press 45 seconds on this. All right.
George, have we had anyone say what they're drinking tonight? Is there a seltzers? Are there a specific type of seltzers?
We had some folks saying they were drinking coffee.
Oh.
We had someone who said they were drinking vodka.
Okay.
So I just asked them to be careful once they get to about item number 2 or 3.
Yes.
But yeah, so we've
Pause.
had quite a few different options.
I hope whoever's drinking coffee has some Baileys in their coffee.
Oh, there you go.
That's quite tasty.
There you go.
Make sure you supplement responsibly.
Yes. We had that on the kit page.
That's right.
All right, here we go. Going down, I've got that, good medium pressure. 45 seconds, 390, and a little under that, but I know on this it's gonna be okay. So those of you who can see the screen, I know someone's saying that guy is not the 390, what is he doing? So we're here, it's supplementing. Grace, anything else you got on your mind that you wanna talk about? Yeah, filling some time here, but any questions, again, fire away at us, that's what we want your participation.
And it's nice too because, so this is just, I keep going back to this, but this is just kind of a sampling of what we offer. So these are pretty popular blanks that JPP has, but we have so many items that you can personalize for your customers. I mean, even back here, you can see that we have pillows and we have towels and we have good bags for Halloween. So definitely take a look if you're not as familiar with our website and what we offer. There's lots of goodies out there.
All right, let's check this out. Okay, get this tape off. Now that is one nice insulator. Beverage insulator. Look at that, folks. So there we go. We have time to do the second side. You guys see here. Hold on a second.
We just have the one thing left, so I think why not?
Okay, let's do the second side. All right. Yeah, check out jpplus.com. Make sure you sign up for product alerts. There's always new items on there. We're constantly bringing stuff on.
And it's nice too, because we try to do a nice job of showing you, maybe you're in a design rut, maybe you're not sure what your customers are looking for. So we try to stay ahead of the game and offer, some design files for you guys or project ideas. We know that you guys are running kind of 24/7, getting your projects out to your customers. So we want to help you think outside the box on ways that you can use products that maybe you haven't thought of before. Maybe you take a garden stake that's small and you put it in a cake and you call it a cake topper. We've got endless ideas on our end. So if you need help with anything, feel free to reach out and we're always ready to help.
Grace, we had a question about some of the design files, but somebody also said, where can I find these products in a spot? And we've got some gift guides on our website, correct?
We do. We have some gift guides that are fantastic. He's stealing my cheese.
The cheese question.
We have gift guides that are so handy to use. So if you go to jpplus.com, in the very top navigation, currently it's our fall product guide. But if you click in there, we have it categorized so you can find gifts for her, gifts for him. We have gifts for Halloween. So if you guys are kind of having problems thinking of ideas, we've categorized it out. We've got fun holiday Halloween art on them to get you inspired. So definitely check that out.
All right, here we go. Second side is sublimated.
Perfect.
Now, I did flip that blowout paper over that you guys might have been catching that. I just didn't want any of that residual ink to re-show back up on the finish side. So I just flipped it over so it wouldn't be an issue there. So I'll go ahead, got this. Boom, second side done.
That was awesome.
Yep, and you've got one nice beverage insulator.
Do you want to show the seams on
Yes.
there?
So with this, let me go down, hold on. This little sucker is hot. See,
We
look at
do
that.
sell heat gloves too.
There you go. Wait, okay, here we go.
Yeah,
Sorry,
so if
guys.
you,
I'm trying to watch and move this at the same time. Too many angles.
if you plan your artwork correctly, yes, there are seams on these, but if you give yourself that bleed to make sure that it goes all the way to the edge, you're gonna get clean, crisp lines.
Looks great, honestly. These
Hopefully-
things are very popular. And again, you can design anything on them. Weddings are big with beverage insulators.
Bridesmaids,
Bridesmaids, yeah.
groomsmen, bachelor parties, bachelorette
Oh,
parties.
For sure.
Hopefully your guys' turned out that well. Let us know if you are having great success with these.
I haven't checked my calendar lately, but I believe football season is coming up.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, even more important than wedding season.
Or if you're attending a wedding, as long as they have a game on at the bar somewhere or in the reception hall, you're usually pretty good.
Yes, and these are for our, obviously they're taller, so for the skinnier cans, the koozies, but we have them in all sizes. So if you want to get a standard one for pop or soda, depending on what you call
Let's
it.
talk about some of these real quick. So we got
Yeah.
this one with like the fake arms. That just reminds me of football.
I know
why.
the sports jersey design on here. Yeah, really cool.
We've also got the ones that zip up too. These are very nice. Okay, these are blank. We kept them that way on purpose so you guys can see them. So these are all on jdplus.com. You can find all of those.
And my personal favorite, if you guys are 80s or 90s babies,
Oh,
we've
yeah.
got the Slap can insulator. Which is
You know, you
nice.
could use that for beverage or just a fashion accessory.
You really could. That's true. You have a big cup bracelet. All right, so we have our last demo of the evening, which is our 8x10 Chromolux panel.
Yep. All right, so we're gonna do that. And what did we send them for that as artwork? I can't remember.
Well, we asked them to provide a favorite photo.
Okay, so you guys are doing that on your photo, okay? So our photo is your favorite presenters, and I'm telling you, if you want this in your house or office, I will print you one. Just let me know in the comments and I'll send it your way.
That's a great sample. So if anyone needs another sample, we'll get that to you.
Who doesn't want a picture of Grace and I hanging out some random corner? All right,
I feel
so
like it's a good segment piece. People would ask questions like, who is that? Why are they here? What are they doing?
your favorite JPP host. All right, so Chromolux panels, all different sizes. I love these things. They pop, okay? So we're just doing the gloss one here today. Again, these always have the protective coating on the front, and you're gonna peel that off. Trust me, I've sublimated these several times and forgot to peel off the coating because I was doing multiple and I just got sidetracked. So make sure you do that and then you're ready to go. So we've got our artwork. Let me move my beverage.
Yeah, we don't want to knock that over.
Yeah.
Plus, I just want to say too, these are great for literally all seasons. You can do them with wedding photos. Right now, fall mini sessions are really popular. So maybe you have local photographers in the area and they're looking for a resource on giving that extra special touch to the families that are getting their photos taken by them. This is a great opportunity to reach out and say, hey, I've got these great panels. Let me give you a sample just to see what it looks like. And next thing you know, you're printing all of their portraits and things to give out to their customers. So it's a great way to expand your business if you're not currently doing anything with those photography products.
Hey, Grace, we had another comment piggyback right off what you were just saying. Somebody said that they partner with a local photographer, and the photographer loves working with them because their turnaround time being local is significantly faster than when they outsource it out of town. So
Exactly.
just to piggyback along with what you were
Yeah,
saying.
they can just come and pick it up right after it's done.
And folks, if you've looked at the pricing for the national folks who do the metal prints, you can provide very aggressive pricing and still give them a savings, and you're still going to make a lot of money on it. So metal panels are, I think, sometimes overlooked. It's a great one. All right.
And we have ones too that are like gallery wraps.
Yes.
So the edges actually bend over. So if you've ever worked with canvas, you know it's so tough to pull that canvas over the outside. We've got options for that. It looks like a full gallery wrap and it's super easy to sublimate. And once you're done, you bend the sides and you're done in seconds.
Yeah. Lots of options there. George, go ahead.
Well, I'm going to throw this one at Grace Steve while you're getting ready to press that. Somebody was asking about our templates on our website and using them with Cricut. Sometimes they say the sizing is a little off. I don't know if you're going to be able to answer that, or if you have any tips, Grace. It's a loaded question. I know I'm throwing one at you here, but I'll let you see if you can have at it a little bit.
It is a little bit of a loaded question. So I'm just going to be honest there. So many of you guys are working with different types of software. So we try our best to really help give you the resources that you need. But I would recommend pulling in the JPEG version of the template that we have and drawing, if you're working with a rectangle shape, making a rectangle shape to the size of your substrate and taking our JPEG template and just sizing it within that constraint. And that will really be a big help.
That was a great answer. Thanks, Grace.
Thanks, George.
All right, so bump up your press to 400. That's pretty simple there. It should warm up pretty quick for you. If you're a little under that, I think you're going to be okay. I've gone ahead and I've got this on the platen. I got to, again, face up for the side you're sublimating. Adjust your pressure. From the fabric, you're going to have to add a little more pressure from our last item with the koozie because that metal's pretty thin. So we're going to go ahead, and I got this in here. And I'm just going to go ahead and adjust this a little more, see where I'm at. I'm going to back it off. I'm going to keep pressure on there, but I'm going to back it off a little too tight. And there we go. All right, so I got 45 seconds. I actually need to go a little bit longer. I did not adjust that. 60 seconds on the panel. So I'm going to go a little bit longer on that panel. I'm going to watch that here. So I'm in the way.
Well, you were the disembodied voice off camera again. That's why I was pointing. And now you're off camera
Now you're
again.
off camera again. Come back around.
Such a tight space.
Would you? He's still off camera. That's all right. We'll come over to here. Yeah, we'll come over here to the close-up.
All right, so we're working on this. I got 10 seconds left on my timer again. A little short on my time here, so I'm going to let that go past, and we'll go ahead and just let that sit a little bit longer. So make sure you adjust your press. 60 seconds.
I'm going to say 2 after it beeps.
It's going to, just because of the, there we go.
Okay. So this is kind of just a good sampling of the resources that we offer. We do a lot of how-to videos. So maybe you guys are struggling knowing how to work with drinkware or a specific type of substrate that you're not so familiar with. We have a YouTube channel, and we also have a page on our website, jpplus.com/videos, and that will pull up lots of how-to and happy tips and tricks to help you guys out.
You're getting close. I'm just going to let a little bit longer here.
Hey, Grace, we did have a question. Somebody was asking on the paper, and I'm glad you mentioned the videos. How do you tell which side of the paper you're supposed to print on?
Perfect. So if you buy our JP Plus sublimation paper, which again is super versatile, you can use it on hard substrates, soft substrates, but it is a little tricky sometimes to tell which side you're going to print on. So if you actually take your, I'm going to use this so I don't have a blank sheet. If you take your piece of paper and fold it over, one side is going to be very bright white and the other side is going to be off white. You want to make sure that you're printing on the bright white side of the sublimation paper.
All right, and we're done. With this substrate, be very careful. That metal is super hot.
So hot.
You burn yourself once on a metal panel, you won't do it twice. So we're going to go ahead and take this off. Oh, that looks great. Grace, we look phenomenal.
I'm going to hang it up in my cubicle.
Yeah. All right, grab this piece of tape here. So these you want to give time to cool, but just to hold that up. Oh, how do I do it? See, right here. And down. Okay. Chromlux metal panels, they're just phenomenal.
So many sizes. They go from
And this
small
is
4x4,
what size is this again?
8x10,
8
and they go up to massive sizes. Huge.
Yeah.
And I do want to make note too, as you notice, we don't have drinkware options that we're demoing tonight, just because it takes a little bit of extra equipment. And I want to make sure that you guys remember and you're aware that we are having a special on our JP 450, and that is our drinkware press. You can press so many items in there. Something that's super popular right now are the 20-ounce skinny tumblers. I'm seeing them everywhere. We cannot keep them on the shelves. They are flying off so fast. But we gave you guys a promo code, and we'll email that out again to you. But you're going to get $40 off the JP 450 drinkware press. In addition to that, you're going to get $10 back in JPP bucks, which is basically extra cash that you can use towards your next purchase.
Yeah, any piece of equipment that you buy with JP Johnson Plastics Plus is going to have JP bucks for it. You just got to register for the rewards. It's just like Grace said, free money to use on your next orders, and take advantage of that. It's a great deal in the mug press. Drinkware is never out of style. I mean, in the years that I've been doing this, it's always popular, and you can literally customize anything on it. So if you're not doing drinkware today, you should be, because it is a money maker for you, and it's great money. So,
And you can easily just add someone's name to a white tumbler and sell that easily.
Yeah.
Everyone wants a tumbler with their name on it. That's
check
so
out all our
popular.
drinkware questions. We are on a website. We have a whole wall that you can't see here. That's just drinkware and on the website. And any other questions?
We got one more thing, is that correct? Are we
Nope,
good?
that-
We're good?
That's it. We provided masks in your guys' samples,
Ah.
and that's kind of just extra. So after this, if you're new, getting used to it, we just wanted to have something that you guys can practice more on. So we provided those kind of almost free of charge. And once you're done here, you can just practice sublimating and test it out.
Hey, we have masks in stock. So I mean, if you're needing those again, because a lot of areas are starting to require those again, that's still a huge opportunity out there. So if you need those, we've got them. But everyone, thank you so much for joining us for this fun Sip and Sublimate. I really hope this was beneficial for you to get to try some new sublimation blanks, learn a little bit about Johnson Plastics Plus. We're here to help you. Feel free to call us with any questions. The tools are on the website. Your success is our success. So we love to hear feedback from us, from you. Let us know how, what we can do better for you. So again,
And at the very least, they learned how much tape you should and should not use.
Yeah. So I don't just getting that tape and I want to tape it up. So,
Make sure it doesn't go anywhere.
yep, it won't.
No,
Not
we-
even off the transfer when it's done.
No, we appreciate everyone joining us. And again, we appreciate all the patience at the beginning with
Yeah,
our
thank you.
time zone confusion. We hope to see you at some of our future webinars. So make sure you're subscribed to our email list if you're seeing those. If not, you can go to our website and we list them at jpplus.com/webinars. And as a bonus, we have all of our previous webinars that you can sort through and watch. So if this wasn't enough, you can go there and see all of them and learn some tips and tricks.
Yeah, honestly, I want to stress that, the videos, make sure you hit those. Lots of good stuff. So thanks, guys.
Have a good one.
Good night.